welcome once again. I think we'll be going with the same chapter, that is C++. Okay. I think in the previous session we have seen what are variables, then data types, little bit of functions. Okay. Now we'll continue with variables, C++ variable scope. Now a scope is a region of the program, and broadly speaking there are three places where the variable can be declared. Okay, so it is like a area or the region where you can declare the variables. So variable can be declared at three places: inside a function or a block, okay, which is also called as local variable. What do you mean by block? So for that I think you have seen this. Okay, this curly braces, so that is a block, or sometimes we show it like this. Okay, that is inside a function or a block. In the definition of function parameters, which is called as formal parameters. Okay, we will talk about this afterwards, formal parameters and all. Outside all the function, which is called a global variable. So right now we will be discussing about local variables and global variables. Now what do you mean by local variable and global variables? That we will be discussing. Okay, now let's so right now you can say that variables can be declared at three places: inside the function, outside the function. Inside the function it is known as local variable, outside the function it is known as global variable. And sometimes we can also write with as a parameters also. That I'll show you when we will discuss about more about functions. Okay, now I have written one program with local variable. Now what do you mean by local variables? Can you see this is your header file? I already told you that why we are writing iostream.h. iostream stands for input output stream. This is the header file, and it supports a function known as, it supports a keyword known as cout. Cout stands for console output, and by default console output is your monitor. Okay, now can you see this is your main function, main, and can you see this brackets, they are known as parentheses. So this is a function, this is the start of the function, this is the end of the function. And right now you can just remember, since it is written as int, so you have to return something. If you have to, in simple words, if you are writing other than suppose if you are writing void, then you don't have to return anything. But suppose if you are writing other than void, that is int, float, double, anything, then you have to return. Okay, we will discuss this thing in detail afterwards. So can you see we have taken three variables. I hope in the first session I have already told you what is int. Int is a data type. Okay, and this is your data type, and these two a, b are your variables. Since these variables are declared in the inside the function, since these variables are declared inside the function, this function starts and this function ends here. That's why they are known as local variables. Not only a, b, c is also a local variable. All these three variables are local variables. Now what is the use of variables? Mostly they will store some value. So can you see this 10 will be stored, this is known as declaration. Okay, variable, local variables declared, and this is known as initialization. Okay, or actual initialization, like how we initialize the values in physics and all. So this is value of a is 10, value of b is 20. Now I think this you can easily understand, this is like a formula, so they will be adding up. So value of a will get substituted here, value of b will get substituted, and it is telling you that to add. So the compiler or the program will add this to, so the value will be 30. Okay, and can you see cout? Cout means print, so it will just print the value of c. Can you see c is not in double quotes? Whatever you write in double quotes, that will be printed as it is. Since c is not in double quotes, you can see that the value of c is getting printed. Actually c is not getting printed, the added value. I hope you understood that 10 plus, I hope you understood the substitution. A value is 10, B value is 20, both will be get added and it will be stored in C, and you will be getting this output. So I hope you understood what are local variables. Local variable means the variables which are declared inside the class, inside the function. Can you see this is your start of the function and this is the end of the function. Most of the time we use local variables only, but now let me give you an example of global variables. Now this is a global variable. Can you see whatever is written in green color, they are known as comments. Comments, as I told you in the previous slide also, or previous session, that they are just giving a remark. This is your header file. Again this is your function. Can you see this variable AB are local variables, but G is a global variable. Why it is a global variable? Because it is declared outside the function. So since it is outside the main function, okay, this is outside the main function, that's why you can say that this is a global variable. Okay, 1 minute. So this is declared outside. Okay, that's why it is known as a global variable, and these two variables are written inside this function, that's why they are local variable. Again the initialization, but can you see you can access the global variables directly, no problem. Okay, so you can write G is equal to A plus B, because they are having directly, you can directly access that, no problem with that. Okay, so A plus B, so A value is 10, B value is 20, so both will get added and it will be stored here. I think output will be same in both the programs, but can you see here there is a difference. When you see this, can you see we are not having any variable, all the variables are inside the function, but when you see this, you will find that one variable is outside the function. That variable is known as global variable. Okay, now let's see which are the different types of operators in C++. I think you already have seen arithmetic, relational, logical, bitwise operators, assignment operators. Okay, so we will be going one by one, what is arithmetic, relational and all. Okay, so let's go with the first one. I think I have already directly shown you with examples. Okay, arithmetic operators. Now here you can see we have declared two header files, iostream.h and conio.h. Mostly conio.h will be, right now it is the functions which are supporting is not written here, but I'll tell you that it will be supporting the functions known as clear screen and getch, that I'll teach you afterwards. Right now can you see this is your function void main. There are three variables, all these variables are local variables. Now whatever, can you see Cout, whatever is written in double quotes, enter the value of A and B. So this will be printed as it is. Now what do you mean by Cin? First time you are looking at the variable of this statement, that is Cin. Cin means console output. So by default console output is your keyboard. So whatever the values you have entered, suppose 1 and 2, so A value will be 1, B value will be 2. Okay, now what do you mean by arithmetic operators? Add this, so it will get added. Okay, then C is equal to subtract, so this will get subtracted. Okay, A and B values got subtracted. This is multiplication, this is division. But can you see here also we are having increment operator. Okay, A plus plus. Now what do you mean by A plus plus? A plus plus is also similar to, you can say that A plus plus is equivalent to A is equal to A plus 1. Okay, both the statements are same. Suppose if the value of A is 1, in this case it will become 2. Okay, and can you see this is like A minus minus, suppose. So A minus minus is equivalent to A is equal to A minus 1. Okay, so I hope you got it. What do you mean by 1 minute? What do you mean by plus plus? whatever the value of A will be there, suppose if the user enters 10, in this case it will be incremented by 1 and the value of C will become 11. And suppose if I write A minus minus, so right now the value of A is 11, so again it will become 10. I hope you got it. Okay, so I think what you understood by arithmetic operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Then we call it them as what do you call, increment operator. So this is increment, this is decrement operator. Okay, now this finishes your arithmetic operators. Then let's go with relational operators. Now what do you mean by relational operators? Relational operators output will always be either true or false. Okay, they will not have any other values. They will not give you values, they will give you the answer either true or false. Okay, now let's see. So void main A, they have declared the variable, these are local variables. A value is 10, B value is 13. If, I think there is a condition, if they are checking if A is greater than B. Can you see what is the value of A? 10. 10 is greater than 13. Is it possible? Because no. Okay, so sorry, 10 is greater than 13. Sorry, 10 is less than 13. Can you see the sign is less than? Okay, so it will just print this statement: A is less than B. So in this case this is true. Now what is the next case? A is greater than B. I think 10 is greater than 13, not possible. So this will not get printed. Okay, then what do you mean by this? If A is less than or equal to B, I think this will get printed because it is less than but not equal to B. So if one of the condition is true, then also it is true. So I'll just put a check which statements will get printed. I think this will get printed, this will get printed, but this will not get printed. Okay, because of this values. Okay, now let's check this side. Okay, 1 minute. I think, can you see if A is greater than or equal to A is greater than or equal to B? Not possible, because value of A is 10. 10 is greater than 13, not possible. Equal to 13, that is also not possible. So this will not get printed. If A equal to B, equal to means comparison. It will just compare. So it is not assignment, it is not assigning the value, or they are just checking whether 10 and 13 are equal. No, they are not equal, because this value is 10 and this value is 13. So this is also not going to be printed. But yes, the last value is going to get printed. Now what do you mean by this? This sign, exclamation sign, in programming languages is known as not equal to. So A is not equal to B. Yes, A and B are not equal, they are different, because this is 10 and this is 13. So this will get printed. Again, I'll tell you that these two statements will not get printed, but this is definitely going to print it. So just remember that this sign, I think I cannot dot. Okay, this sign is known as not equal to. Okay, not equal to sign. So I hope you got it. Again, I'll explain you. A is less than B, yes. A is greater than B, no. So this will not get printed. A is less than or equal to B, yes. Okay. A is greater than or equal to B, no. A and B are equal, no. So if A is not equal to B, yes, they are not equal. So it will get printed. So I hope you understood. Relational operators will always show you the output as true or false, because the statement is true. That's why you are getting the output. Okay, now let's go with the logical operators. Okay, logical operators are, again, they will be showing you the output as true and false. Okay, again, I think same, there are two, everything is same, header files, then A and B, A comma B. A is equal to 12, B is equal to 10. Okay, the values are different. If A, can you see 2 times this AND sign is there? This we call it as ampersand, in this case we call it as a logical operators. Okay, so A into B. Okay, so this condition is true, then A or B, the condition is true. Okay, A is equal to 0. Now they have changed the values. Right now value of A is 12, but here it is 0 and value of B is 10 only. If A and B condition is true, else condition is not true. So I think in this case it is not true because they are not equal. Okay, if not of, can you see not of sign is there, then the condition is true. So in this case, one minute, in this case this is going to get printed and this is going to get printed. One minute. A and B, I think they are not equal, not true, and this is also going to get printed because not of A and B is true. Okay, so they are just checking whether again here your output will be true or false. Okay, now we are going with bitwise operators. What do you mean by bitwise? I think they are like some symbol like A and B, so they just multiply. 0 into, suppose these are your inputs, 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So can you see these are the different combinations, 0 1 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Now these are the different outputs. A into B, 0 into 0 is 0, 0 into 1 is 0, 1 into 0 is 0, 1 into 1 is 1. So can you see this will be the output when you are having A into B. We can read as bitwise operator. Now can you see this is like OR. So this is like addition, but actually we are not doing addition. 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 plus 1 is actually 2, but you have to consider as 1 only. Okay, so you can remember like this. In AND, if if both are true, then only it is true, otherwise it is false. And in OR, okay, we call it as OR, if both are 0, then only 0, otherwise everything is 1. Now this is this we call it as XOR. XOR, if your inputs are same, then your output is 0. If your inputs are different, then your output is 1. So let me write, this is nothing but AND or multiplication. This is nothing but OR. Okay, and this is, we call it as XOR. Okay, XOR. Okay, so remember that in this case, if the inputs are same, your output is 0. Okay, and if the inputs are different, your output is 1. I hope you got it. Okay, now let's see the examples. Okay, now I think just now we have seen, we are going through, in the first chapter we have already gone through binary to decimal and all. So this is A 60 and this is B 13. So 60 can be written like this in binary and 13 can be written as like this. I think you might be knowing the shortcut method 8421. So with the help of this, now when you multiply A into B, so when you multiply, can you see 0, this will be 1 0, in multiplication 1 1 is 1, everything will be 0. So here 1 into 1 is 1, 1 into 1 is 1, but can you see here 0 into 1 is 0, 0 into 0 is 0, 1 into 0 is 0, 1 into 0 is 0, and rest everything is 1 1. In OR, wherever you find 0 0, there only you will be getting 0 0. Okay, and wherever, anywhere if you find 1, there you will be getting 1 1. So can you see this will be 1, but can you see both are 0, that's why we got 0 here. Can you see here both are 1, that's why 1 1. If any of the inputs are 1, then also 1. In XOR, remember that in XOR, If inputs are same, then only 0. If inputs are different, 1. So 0 1 inputs are different, that's why it is 1. 0 0 0. Okay, then can you see inputs are same everywhere same. So sorry, here it is different, 0 1 0 1, that's why it is 1 1 here. Now what about not? Okay, not is just not of A. A is complement where just replace 0 by 1 and 1 by 0. It's very simple. Can you see here 0 0 is there, that's why it is written 1 1. Can you see 1 1 is there, that's why it is written 0 0. Can you see 1 1 is written, that's why it is 0 0, and 0 0, that's why it is 1 1. Okay, so I think they have just shown you what is bitwise operators. So bitwise operators, you are having AND, OR and XOR. Okay, again I'll tell you, where it is like multiplication, this is like addition, but remember one thing, if both are 1 then only 1 in AND, if both are 0 then only 0 in OR, and if the inputs are same, 0, if the inputs are different, then 1. Okay, now let's take some example. So here I have written the example also. Int A value is 7 and B value is 5. Okay, this is in binary here. Can you see 7 is written in binary, 5 is written in binary, bitwise operators, A and B. So can you see 1 into 1 is 1. Okay, 0 into 1, 0, 1 into 0 is 0, 1 into 1 is 1. So answer is 5, correct. Okay, then OR, if I think this will be 7 because everywhere you will find 1, so 1 1 1 1, so that's why it is 7. XOR, if the inputs are same, then your output is 0, so I think this will be 2, because can you see here 1 and 1 is 0, 1 0 is 1, 1 1 is 0, so this will be I think 2 in the output. Complement of A, we call it as complement of A. So A value, everything will be replaced by 0 0 0, so this will be okay, and you have to put extra 1, so that's why it is 8. And I'll show you why. Sorry, this is minus whenever you are going with complement, just add 1, okay, and put a negative sign. Okay, same way, can you see minus 6 here? Then this is like left shift and right shift. Okay, this I'll tell you afterwards, let it be. Just remember this bitwise operators AND, OR, XOR, complement and all. Okay, now we are going with the last operator, that is assignment operator. Assignment operator is in the context of C programming, is a basic component denoted by equal to. It is just assign the values. Okay, X value will be considered as 25. X value, now it will be updated. Okay, now initially it was 25, now it will be 50. So assignment operators are simple. Okay, so now what we have studied in this session is we are having different types of operators, and before that we have also seen types of variables, global variables, local variables and all. So I hope you understood. In this there are some topics like left shift, right shift, and or that also we will see in the next session. Okay, so just revise this. Thank you. We'll meet in the next session.